Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, Branson,
How
are
you
you a member of Got to Be NC?
No.
You might consider joining that. It's free. Um,
Okay.
and they have a trade show every year where they have retail buyers come and visit with brands.
Okay.
So that might be a way to meet a bunch of buyers. I don't know if it's the right buyers for your product or not, but it's just something I thought about. It's called Got to Be NC. I think it's called the Flavors of Carolina. So maybe they don't have CPD. I don't know. But anyway, thought of you when I read about it.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. I'm a agriculture producers. Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know. I guess you could make the argument that CPD is from hemp, which is obviously a grown commodity.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if there's any other CPD members there. I don't even know if they list their members, but at any rate, just something to think about. Morning, Tia. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm okay. Where are you coming in from, Tia?
I'm actually at ECU.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Someday I'll get up there too.
Really? Do you
Do you come here often?
I don't actually.
I don't actually.
I don't know what's going on here. I hear an echo. Are you guys hearing an echo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think I got it straightened out. Yeah, I do come occasionally. I have a meeting this coming Friday, but mostly I work from home.
Oh, wow. And you're
Yeah.
in Kinston?
I'm in Pink Hill, which is 17 miles south of Kinston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the way to nowhere. What do you do? Are you a student at ECU or are you a faculty?
I'm staff.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. Folks are coming on here. Did you have something, Branson? I'm sorry. Hey, Samara.
Hi.
How you doing? All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I know people will be coming in. I want to go over a couple of things today. We're going to finish up on category design, that we've been covering now for a few days. And then we're gonna have a little bit of fun. I'm going to show you a insane North Carolina, actually hemp company or CPD company that is just out of control and doing really, really well with a very unusual process and technique. I think you all will get a kick out of. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. There he is, the man, the myth.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's see if I can get this straight here. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go.
I'm going to talk about process and timing of a project. Now, this is somewhat based on what we do when we're working with a client, but you can take the same formula and run it through your company. Essentially, we start with, and the way we do this project, this takes about 3 months. But start with a discovery process. Come up with general questions that you might have from the book. Use Dave's 3 questions. Give it to your trusted advisors. You could have one of your board members, an investor, your executive team, co-founder, a key player that always contributes good ideas. Have them answer Dave's 3 questions on their own, and then compile the results and have everybody share the results and see where they lead you. Next thing you want to do, focus really heavy on the problem. Think it through. Think about what people really think their problem is, and don't think about solution until you have nailed the problem. Marketecture. Things like a category blueprint, an ecosystem, or your persona study. Think about your vision. What's your roadmap? Then go in and think about the name. At this point, you've done a lot of work, a lot of homework. You should start to get a feel for what your category is going to be and where it's going to go. And once you've done that, then you develop your story. Everyone here has probably put together an investor pitch deck. The pitch deck can flow from the POV. Everybody's heard about storytelling. Storytelling's old school, POV is new school. Mobilization, putting together the lightning strike. Get your whole company, your whole market, get the analysts that cover your area, get everybody heading towards the agenda and the story you want them to tell. If you focus on this framework, you'll end up working it through the same way we do, the same way the book illustrates. And if you're stuck somewhere, if you're on company POV, and you'd say to yourself, ah, God, go to the book. The book actually has an index. Everyone forgets that. So look up what you're stuck on and go back and read about it. Go to our website, go to Play Bigger's website. There's a bunch of information out there. Sample POVs are out there. So marketecture stuff, we're going to talk about each of the examples. First one is a category blueprint. And the blueprint sets the agenda and the requirements for your category and establishes what the problem is by illustrating it graphically. People learn through listening, by doing, or by seeing. And that's where the blueprint comes in handy. This is a category blueprint. Company's called Replicon, and we're going to show some examples of their work. But they're a time clock company. In factories and businesses where you go in, you say, I start work, I'm clocked in at 8 in the morning. Boring industry, right? What they realized is time is a very valuable asset for businesses. People are a valuable asset. And they were collecting all this information about time. And what they did is they applied machine learning to their time information that they gather, and they create what they call time intelligence. So that category is time intelligence. It interfaces with all the different aspects of time tracking.
I just want to make a point here that this is basically a time clock company, which we all know about time clocks, and it's not particularly sophisticated or cool or whatever. But they created their own category from something so basic. And that's an example of the kind of thing we've been talking about, that it doesn't necessarily have to be some unique thing that you do that no one else does. You can still go through this process and identify categories that you could be the category leader, category inventor of.
It applies different technology to it to come up with insights, and basically you end up with a bunch of business recommendations. So a blueprint's just a nice graphical way to represent your category. It also becomes, in most cases, a nice marketing asset, something to put in your investor deck. Build out an ecosystem. The ecosystem is it's again graphical, and it also is a process. But the ecosystem documents sort of the flow of your business. Here's an example. This was in the book. Essentially, if you look here, they talk about there are different areas they interface with, the agencies in the marketing industry, customer development. So It's illustrating every connection of your ecosystem and the things you interface with as you conduct your business. Understand your persona. Has anyone ever done a persona map before? I think it's funny, they always name everything, you know, like Marketing Maggie, you know. I just always chuckle about that. Who are you talking to? And you're gonna change, when you create your point of view, you're gonna then create a messaging Bible from that. And knowing who you're talking to is highly important, because you're gonna tell the story differently if you're talking to an investor, or if you're talking to a customer, or if you're talking to the customer's CEO. HubSpot has some incredible examples on their website. Just Google HubSpot and the word persona, and you're gonna find templates and slide decks and videos. They talk all about it. But essentially, here, I should have used the example Marketing Mary. But you're basically mapping out everybody's, you know, concerns, what problems they have that are unique to them, and it allows you to think differently about your category to make sure you're addressing all your different concerns and people. Know your vision and roadmap. Really important. If you're building a category today, you need to think about the promises you're going to communicate for the future. Facebook put their roadmap out, and what's funny is they didn't end up saying we dominate the world, but I think that's kind of the direction they're going. But essentially, they talk about where they're going every couple of years. And when you think about your roadmap, it allows you to translate that into your story. If you tell the story about you can buy this widget today, that's no big deal, right? A clicker. But if Logitech told this story about this widget a couple of years ago and said, what if you could move your widget around and it moved your mouse on the screen? That's what this clicker does, which is pretty cool. What's your point of view? So basically, a point of view is a story. It's an emotional story. You want to appeal to people's instincts and their gut. The POV communicates what your whole category strategy is about. When you write your point of view, write it like you're telling a story in a bar. People call it your elevator pitch. I haven't told my story in an elevator ever, but I've told my story in a bar 1,000,000 times. Tell your story kind of like you've had 2 martinis, right? A little buzz opens up the creativity. Ernest Hemingway said, write drunk and edit sober. When you're putting your POV together, don't talk about why you're better. That just compares you to competition. Always be different. You want to establish the emotion of the problem, talk about the ramifications of not solving the problem, introduce your category and your solution, and then articulate why you're different and can solve it in no other way that anyone else can solve. Here's a point of view example. This is Replicon, the company we were just talking about, Time Intelligence. So when you're creating a point of view, it's kind of like when you were taught how to write a story back in school. Create a flow, right? A storyline. What we do is we start with the problem. Time tracking was old, clunky systems, blah, blah, blah. What are the ramifications of not doing anything with time tracking? Time goes missing. You don't know if people are cheating you on their overtime, etc. What's the vision for the future? AI can make this a more valuable thing to the company. Time can become valuable. Time can be an asset. And then what are the outcomes, the value of using the solution? If you map this out in a very simple way, think of it as a story, 100 words, 200 words, 100 words, 200 words. You end up with a nice short 2-minute story.
Time is a valuable strategic asset and should be
This is the Replicon point of view. So a point of view, it's a written story, and when you're done, it should feel like that 3-minute video explainer that people put on their website. So I'm going to just read it and walk it through for you, but I want to see if you think of yourself as a business owner that actually has people that you track time with. Point of view is a story, and it's emotional, and it introduces the category and lets people know why they should join it. So here's Replicon's point of view. Everyone knows that time is money, but unlike money, most businesses don't know enough about their time. What did we do to turn time into money today? How much did time cost us today? Such questions are surprisingly hard to answer. Time is universal in any business. 60% of a company's cost is time. Yet there's no easy way to capture time spent and connect it to a company's work, accomplishments, events, and results. Multiple systems track time today: CRM, ERP, HR, PSA, project management. But they all do it in a different, non-connected, non-shareable way. Time goes missing because it's hard for employees to track accurately and in real time. Most time tracking features were built for the last century, tedious and sluggish, while the world changes in seconds. This makes it difficult for a company to treat time as a valuable asset. But that's exactly what it is. Time is an asset, and businesses need to understand how to best use that asset today and in the future. A 1,000-person company has around 2 million hours at its disposal in any year. Do we know what our millions of hours got us? How can we connect all of our time to all of our outcomes, analyze time, understand it, and make predictions about it? It requires a new way to think about and manage time. It requires time intelligence. Time intelligence is important to business in a way that emotional intelligence is important to people. True time intelligence is much more than the sum of static data and reports. It means businesses can connect time spent to outcomes produced and understand and deploy time as an asset. Time intelligence allows businesses to treat time the way they treat money, resources, and materials. And this new knowledge can flow back to individual employees so they can understand their own time and how they are contributing. And manage time so they are more successful, which in turn makes the company more successful. Any company that operates without understanding time as an asset is wasting time. Optimizing time, treating time as an asset, it's a competitive advantage. Getting you there is a problem Replicon solves. We've developed technology for time intelligence. Replicon built it for our IoT, mobile, cloud, and social, and AI era. It's time management for the 21st century. We call it the Time Intelligence Platform, and it liberates time from your systems and turns it into an intelligent and valuable asset. Replicon's architecture harvests time and events everywhere, in any way, and on any device. We link time to every system you rely on, legacy software, new apps, or any technology you might buy in the future. Replicon adds the intelligence layer to validate, process, analyze, and transform time into powerful information. With Replicon, you'll know how you turn time into money, and how much time costs you, and how to better use time in the days, months, or years ahead. Time as an asset is what Replicon is all about. Time intelligence is our business. Replicon, the time intelligence company. So, I just ask you all, never heard of Replicon before, do you think you understand their story? As a business owner, you understood the pain, the problem, you understood the ramifications and the solution and the category. All right? My Canadian partner snuck analyze in with an S. Did you notice that?
Everyone knows that time is money.
So one of the things that strikes me about this is even though you may not be necessarily pitching large corporate enterprises or looking for venture capital, I still think it's really helpful to create a document or a slide like this. Sure, Samara, just a second. The process that you go through, I think, will help you think more clearly about what you're doing, especially, if you're a kind of a one-person band or whatever, and you're doing all this stuff, it's really hard to stay on track. You tend to go from one fire to another. And so I think that this sort of process, even if it's just you as the audience, is very, very helpful to keep you like he showed a slide about Facebook, going through time that they, every so often try to get themselves organized and say, hey, here's where we're going, and communicate that to various people, whether it's employees or customers or, even family, right? So a coherent story, and they call it a point of view story, which seemed a little buzzy to me. I mean, to me, it's a story, but the point of it is really at a minimum, it helps you stay on track, especially over time. A lot of people start their business and they are convinced that, this is the answer. And then 6 months later, like, oh, damn, I got to pivot to this or that. And that's not uncommon. In fact, that happens all the time, where you end up doing something different than you might otherwise have expected to do. So this kind of keeping track of what it is you're trying to do, how you're representing yourself to yourself first, and then your audiences, I think is really important. I do want to take a second. This is very important. Samara has a limerick for us from artificial intelligence. Go ahead, Samara.
I have been having a hell of a good time playing with it for more time than I needed to. But I have it. There once was a gourmet named Barry, whose taste for elder was very merry. He made it with care and served it with flair. Now his reputation's grown very, very cherry.
That's great. Thank you. One other thing you can do is you can tell the bot to write a song and tell it the tune that you want it to be for. So it's pretty wild. You can do a lot of fun stuff with that. The other thing you can do is tell the AI to write you a story, and then you set the frame of the story. So you could say, write a story about an elderberry saving a woman from a burning house. Okay. And it will write this crazy story. It's really funny. Then you can edit it and do stuff. But the songs are probably my favorite, and the stories, my wife thinks they're way too immature or whatever, which is probably why I like them. But I think they're pretty funny. Like, I'm a hero in one with my horses and all that kind of stuff. So, just my 2 cents on that. So thank you, Samara, for that, for sharing that. That's good. Okay. All right. Yeah. And also, Samara, happy to just stay on after. That's great. No problem at all. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into an insane world that some of you have been to before. And yes, I'm talking about Appalachian Standard out of Western North Carolina. That is probably, to me, is one of the most insane things I have ever seen on the internet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a couple of things. Let's see if we can do this right here. Sorry, I'm having, okay, let's see here. Give me just a second, apparently. Okay, there we go. All right. So just by way of background, this is a company that I think they grow their own hemp. I'm not 100% sure of that. But they have a line of CBD products. And some of you have seen this before. But what caught my eye about this was, first of all, I was watching the Today Show or one of those shows, and this story came out, which I'm going to share with you. It's only a couple minutes long, but that'll kind of set the stage. And then what we're going to do is we're going to watch a little bit of this crazy show, is the only way to describe it, that they run every week on their website. So let me attempt to share the screen again. Okay. Share. Okay. So let's see.
Work and the future of e-commerce. Live streaming on TikTok is a growing trend in the U.S.
It's becoming a more popular way for young people to buy products online, combining shopping with live entertainment. And for viewers and sellers alike, the trend seems to be here to stay. Here's a closer look.
It's QVC meets Price is Right and like crazy game shows. Oh, 25% okay!
When you think online shopping, this probably isn't what comes to mind.
Yeah, these prescriptions?
Those are, yeah, they are.
But for Lauren Davis's family hemp business, live streams like this are now their main revenue driver.
They've changed our life. If you look at our sales on those live stream days, the graph shoots up. It is our bath ritual bath soak.
Every week, Lauren and her mom go live for an hour on their TikTok account with more than 830,000 followers and interact with customers buying their products in real time.
I see the comments and I also see the orders coming in. And I have the order name and the order number, and I'll call out their names. 2044, if y'all are in the house, this giveaway spins for Crystal, Tracy, and Alyssa.
What's the wheel over your shoulder? What's that for?
So any order over $100 that's placed during the live stream will get a spin of our giveaway wheel. This giveaway spin is for you. Big money, no way.
That gaming aspect is intentional and quickly becoming a live stream staple.
I think it's fun because there's like an element of mysteries.
Lindsay Holland is a shopper with a thing for crystal live streams.
They'll have like a big container and it'll have a bunch of different like rocks and crystals, and they'll take a cup or like a bowl and they'll scoop, and whatever you get in that scoop is what you get shipped to you.
An adventure you can't get when you just add an item to your cart on a static website.
It's the experience that you're paying for. It's the experience of watching them scoop it and like them saying your name.
So you're not just buying the product, but also the show.
It's meant to give them a reason to stay through the duration of that short video, and then to stay for the next one.
Franklin Chu is the managing director of e-commerce agency Azoya International. He says all signs point to this being the future of shopping.
The live streaming e-commerce market in China is about 200 billion. And it's only about 10 billion right now in the US. So there's a long runway for US merchants to use this medium to promote themselves.
He says over the next 2 to 3 years, more major US brands will hop on the trend, and some of the largest are already there. Walmart held its first live stream shopping event on TikTok in December of 2020. Now they have their own live shopping website, walmartshoplive.com. Amazon is following a similar path with Amazon Live, where shoppers can browse multiple live streams at a time. But the shoppers businesses attract on TikTok, the ones super engaged in the content they consume, are making this platform stand out.
When they go to Amazon, they expect a certain kind of experience, shopping for a particular.
Okay, so that gives you a little bit of the insanity of those folks. Now we're going to watch a little bit of show. I want to make a couple of comments about, see if I can find it. There it is. Okay, let's see here. Move it over here. Okay, well. I don't know why this won't open up. Open. Okay, there we go. Sorry about all this complication here. Take me just a second, apparently. Okay. So, share the screen. Okay, so we're just going to watch a little bit. This is an hour-and-a-half long show. And I haven't watched them in a while. I don't know if I assume they're still doing this every week. But the little thing that we just saw was about TikTok. But actually, these people go way beyond TikTok. And so I'm just going to give you a little sense of what they're doing. I think you'll find it interesting.
It is. That's what I call it. Please tell me the site will work this time. All right. The site should we have 50 of our vessels live right now. We know last time the website broke. So this time we are bringing back the deals from last week, bringing them back this week with hopefully not a broken website, hopefully not a website bouncer. So we do have 3 special little flavored baked.
Just a couple of points here that I'll raise. So one of the things that is pretty cool in my view is these people have enormous technical problems in every show. This is done on a shoestring. It's amazing how often everything breaks. And not only do they not care, but their customers don't care either. Their customers you'll see the chat in a little bit, I hope, where they say, oh, don't worry, we'll just wait for your site to come back up. We know what you're doing. And the other thing is that is absolutely insane. So, we know about TikTok. We also know about Facebook Live. We know about Instagram Live. We know about Walmart Live, Amazon Live. It goes on and on. There's all kinds of platforms. What these people do is they actually use cell phones and they do it all at the same time. They stream to all of those at the same time, each with an individual cell phone on some kind of mount. So you'll see during it, they'll go, oh, the Instagram is off, or such and such is broken, and they'll scramble around and they'll try to get it to work. But I think the point of it is we worry about perfection and technology and, where should we do all of this? These people do everywhere, all at once, all the time, with apparently no technical help other than, somebody in the family. And they're basically farmers outside of Asheville. So I just wanted to make that point, and we'll watch a little bit more of this.
Abe's Blueberry Cobbler Pep Mocha and mother friggin' apple pie vanilla ice cream, and they're $75 for all 3. They typically are $130. What a bargain! Yes, Waylon!
Sorry to keep interrupting. The other fact is this is a mother and a daughter. Okay, the woman on the right with the Irish leprechaun hat on is the mother, and the one with the crazy blue hat on is the daughter, who is 23 or 24 years old, just got out of Western North Carolina University. And the family has, I think they purchased this farm, this greenhouse farm that grows hemp and other things. And so the daughter decided to get involved and to help, and boy, has she helped.
Let's go! Yeah. We cannot ship to Canada yet, but we will soon. I promise. We have 49. Are they going down, Coco, the cupcake? Nope, I manifested the good vibes this morning. Yes, done. Ooh. Okay. All right. TikTok.
Okay, just a couple more observations. Sorry. Above her head, you see a countdown timer. And they use that really extensively. They can have like a deal for a few minutes, and when that thing counts down, they go, oh, it's almost over, you got to buy. So they use that countdown timer, and I don't think that's a particularly sophisticated, I think it's just a big digital clock. I don't know for sure. Could be an iPad or something, I don't know. But that one thing. The other thing they have, you see the screen to the right of the timer is and I don't know exactly how they do this, I haven't researched it, but that's where when they're pushing a particular product, they tell you how many they have, and they indicate when one gets sold. So in this case, you see 50 vessel bundle, which is what they're selling right now. That thing will count down to 0 as part of the process. So I think that's pretty good also.
Back, Waylon says, okay, thank goodness. Whew. I can't find the tincture. The tincture will be live after this bundle, after the Vibe Vessel bundle. The tincture will be live, baby. Are they all hybrid? So these babies they're a very chill leaning hybrid. They actually have a boost of a very special baby CBN that makes it super duper chill. Very great for rest, rejuvenation, stoking the cells, soothing the soul. It's very vibey. They're very, very delicious. Dude, the site is so quick now, Taylor says. Yes! Oh my gosh, is there a countdown date to green juice? Yes, I'm gonna announce it tomorrow. Oh, we have so much good news. Where's the special? The special is on the homepage of the website. Okay, so someone over here is like, dude, the website's so fast now. And then Ashley over here is like, website is so slow.
Oh,
Darn it. Darn it. Yes, Coco the Cupcake says yes. It gives you focus without feeling couch lock. Exactly. Candy restock soon? Yes. The Candy Factory is back, baby. Woo! Stay tuned. Yes, the green juice, Gina. I'm so excited. How many goodies how many times can you use this, babe? So it has, these will have 150 1-second puffs. So excited. Can't wait to see you this Spring Fest. Yes! Oh my gosh, I love y'all. Man, I am so hyped right now, everyone. Fantastic. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Grace. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's some Irish accent you've got there.
It is. Oh yeah, it's St. Patty's Day 2.0, everyone. Because the website broke last St. Patty's Day. So we're back. Place my order. Yes.
Feeling lucky.
Coco the Cupcake is up in the house, given all the facts. Coco the Cupcake says, if the site is slow, make sure to clear history, cache, and cookies. You are exactly right. Cameron's in the house saying, let's effing go, baby.
Up, Cameron?
Oh, hello, Cameron. Let's see. Delaney
Hello,
says,
Cameron.
I just
How are you?
placed an order the other day. Dang it, I should have waited. Oh, we do it every single Thursday, baby. Don't you worry. Just
I'm exhausted just watching it. So if you look at the chat on the right side in the blue here, it shows somebody is posting, the mobile website isn't working. If you follow this chat, so I've just been watching this with you all, but their YouTube site went down, their TikTok site went down, their mobile website went down. They were happy their website was fast, but it's just pandemonium the whole time. And, I think they've got, over 800,000 followers on TikTok at this point. I don't know about the other platforms, but it's a big audience, and it's just crazy. I don't know. So I'll come off this now and see what you all think about this. Any reaction?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
They're clearly doing something right. I just shared in the chat with Dennis that Appalachian Standard actually carries my product, and they do better on a monthly basis selling my product online than I do. And when I watch their energy, I'm like, whoa, that's intimidating and it's inspiring.
Yeah. Also, just an observation about that. One of the things that I run into all the time, especially when I work with farmers, is farmers have a tremendous problem getting their children to come work on the farm. It's a real issue across the whole state of North Carolina. Most of the kids want nothing whatsoever to do with the farm. They want to move to the city and get a job or a tech job or whatever. This is an example here where their daughter, who just graduated from college, is really, she's at the farm, baby. She's at the greenhouse. She's at the operation. And not only that, but she's turned it into a pretty big deal. So I like that aspect of it a lot. Did someone else have something they wanted to say about this?
I was going to say, I've done Pop Shop Live before. It's the same, thing, but it's a lot to be like live and right on the spot, but it's fun. I'm going to tell my daughter about it. She actually has a cannabis farm, and she has her medical license, and she sells it to dispensaries for medical.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and they make, lip balms and all different kinds of ointments and soaps and all kinds of stuff. So I'm sure she'd be really interested in that.
Yeah. that wheel that they use, you can buy on Amazon. It's not very expensive. I actually bought it at some point. I don't know where the hell I put it, but it actually is fun, and you can do all different kinds of things with it. But it does add that game show kind of feel to it. And I think also pretty clearly they have found their product market fit, right? They're appealing to a segment of customer that I personally am not that familiar with. This is even younger than my kids at this point. So that's a lot of stuff I don't know, but I think that they are demonstrating that they figured out how to reach their market and the way they approach it. It's fun. They're having a lot of fun. It's like the video we saw the other day, right? That's a big part of what they're doing. They're not just grinding it out day after day, beating their head on the factory floor. I mean, these people are going wild. So I don't know. Samara says they sell a lot of her product. I assume they're doing pretty well. Do they pay you when they're supposed to?
Absolutely. They are easily one of my most solid accounts for the way we engage with each other and how much product they move. And I couldn't be happier about their connection.
That's great. They must have somebody somewhere doing business processes.
Apparently, it's literally Lauren, the younger of the mom. Not the mom, but the daughter. She's just brilliant. Absolutely on top of it all.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. There maybe I ought to take whatever it is they're selling, right? Wake myself up. Lisa, thank you for that on Pop Shop Live. It so happens that we actually have done quite a bit of work with them with Pop Shop Live. In fact, you are in the presence of Mr. Peanut Man himself, who Kime from Opal's Candies has gone live multiple times on Pop Shop Live, dressed in a full body peanut suit. I'm not making that up. And Kime, you want to talk about your experiences with Pop Shop Live?
Good and bad, but no, seriously, I love Pop Shop. It was a really good platform for us, and we found a really good following. But yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking, but once you get over that and you just be yourself and just talk to the phone, it works out really good. But yeah, no, I have nothing but praise for them. They're great people to work with. Any problems, they were always right on top of trying to get it worked out, and I highly recommend. We just have been so busy, and while I was talking with Craig the other week, and he too, we just had to kind of push that to the side and focus on our mainstream. But no, it was a great revenue for us.
Yeah,
and we'll get back to it. We're just not there yet.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And one of the things that it's like everything else. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do anything at this point, and especially as you get really busy and you start to look at stuff like this, go, how in the hell am I going to do this? But one of the things that you can look at is the possibility of finding a young person, an intern, a local community college you could reach out to. I bet you they have people who would love to do something like this. So that's all stuff. It's also a great thing to consider if you partner with somebody. Like if you're a product, you want to get your product into, Food Lion, maybe you could do a live show with Food Lion and leverage the announcement and, do some kind of promotion related to going into Food Lion as an example. So these are all things that, it all takes time, it takes work, but I do think it's worthwhile. And we do have one story, which I've repeated a bunch of times, but we had a guy who took the class, and he is a grass-fed beef rancher outside of Greenville, North Carolina. And he started doing Pop Shop Live. And he had an interesting approach. He has a friend who has some kind of, I think it's multiple sclerosis, but I'm not 100% sure, but he's disabled and he can't work, but he used to be a chef. So this guy made this guy the host of his show, and he's really funny. He's from New York, and he's kind of a character. But they started selling grass-fed beef in Alaska and Hawaii out of Greenville, which is crazy, right? And the woman, one of his accounts in Alaska was buying like $800 or $900 at a time because there is no grass-fed beef in Alaska. It's just not, you just can't get it, according to this person. So there are markets out there that you can reach. We have one of the people who went through our class, some of you know, Ashley Nolan, who now my mind has gone blank with the name of her company, but she basically sells handmade jewelry that she creates. And at one point, she had totally given up all of her other channels besides her live streaming because she was making so much money from the live streaming that it was crazy. And she ended up, just really devoting her business to doing live streaming, which really lent her product really lent, copper ashes. Her product really lends itself to live streaming. So yeah, Lisa, your point about shipping refrigerated and frozen, what this farmer did in Greenville is they just added that cost and said free shipping, and people didn't care. They bought it anyway. In the wealthier areas of the country, that's just not an issue. So that's one thing I thought was pretty smart. I forget how they figured it out, but they came up with some number that covered most of where it was going, and they charged that and added that to the retail price of all their products. So, well, that's the extent of my my class today. I hope that was helpful. I will stay on with Samara after if that works, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Hey, Samara.
Hey, is it just us now?
Yeah, think so.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to wrap my head around it a little bit more. The category design thing is very relevant for me, in as much as, the vast majority of my competition is dying on the hill of elderberry being a supplement, right? They know about it and wellness. That is primarily all their focus is. And I started from close to actually, it wasn't quite day one. I was actually in business for a year before I tried one of my competitors. And it literally made me dry heave. And so I say that because elderberry is not known for its delicious flavor, but it is known for its health and wellness. And so the thing that I keep harking back to is that I don't literally mean my personal grandparents, but I do mean it in the sense that I hear a dozen times a week from, people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Oh, elderberries. I used to pick those on my grandma's farm. We used them in biscuits and we used them in blah, 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 blah. Exactly. Like they used to be a food product in this country, and they grow prolifically well here, and it doesn't have to taste like crap. A little bit of spices and some honey goes a long way. And so instead of marketing my product as a supplement, I've doubled down on, I market a gourmet elderberry product. I market gourmet elderberry products, actually, at this point, with the elderberry syrup and an elderberry lemonade and a sour mix and an elderberry apple butter and an elderberry spice cider. And most of those products are still just like tailgate market offerings. The flagships, the sour mix, the elderberry apple butter, and the syrup are available year round on my website, but the other ones are kind of only if you see me in person. At any rate, my anxiety around category design is that I feel like I'm sitting in a pretty reasonable place. People understand that what I'm making tastes better when they've tried it. But from sort of the imposter syndrome angle of it, I have literally never in my life been an early adopter of anything. I have never ridden a wave. I have never been ahead of the curve. I see the potential, and I don't quite know how to keep a grasp on it, because I've never been in a position where I'm sort of a trendsetter. I don't think of myself quite as a trendsetter yet, but that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
theory being that there are a couple other elderberry products that are local-ish or statewide anyway, that are actually flavorful. They may not be marketing it the same way. They are still largely marketing it as supplement, but they taste nicer. And so my theory about competition in that regard is that anybody who's making a pleasant tasting elderberry anything is top notch in my book, because the more people get out of their head that elderberry doesn't taste nice, the better we all do.
Yeah.
I don't know how to catch the wave, like the stamina of figuring out where it's going or how to stay with it.
I think as a venture capital guy said to me, Trotz, you're boiling the ocean. So don't boil the ocean. Take it a step at a time, right? So what I would suggest you consider doing is the exercises that are in the Techstars Honor Member resources. There's actually step-by-step process of doing this, which won't hurt you to do. I think as you come out the other end with what you've figured out, then that's something we can talk about. And then you're talking about, actually implementing the category design process. So first you got to do it. You got to really have a clear picture of what keeps jumping in my mind is, and this may not be good enough, but it's, we make good tasting elderberry products, and that's the message you want to codify in some way, I think. And also, I wrote down what you said, not just for biscuits anymore. I mean, there's a lot of things that I think, you need to find out. How big is the market for good tasting elderberry? It might be gigantic. It might be, off the hook. I don't know.
I don't know if it is, but I know it's up and coming. I know it's trending and I know it's gaining traction. The market reports used to have access to some market analysis through Mountain BizWorks, and I found a report that's recently been created that I would love to have access to, but they want $2,500 for a single-use scenario.
What is where is it from? Is something you can get in a library database?
I'm not 100% sure. It's called researchandmarkets.com reports/reports, and it's the company is Research and Markets, the world's largest market research store. And the report's called Elderberry Market in the US 2022 to 2026. But it sure is.
I know that a lot of universities have access to a lot of that stuff. So here's one, let's see here. This is a press release from March of 2022. And it says elderberry market size to grow by 109 million. With accelerate, is that it?
No, but I've seen similar ones.
This is a report showing segmentation, all kinds of stuff here. Company called Technavio.
Yeah, I have that one also. I think they are, let me see this real quick. I got the impression it's the same report. If you click that link in the top, the elderberry market value in the US link, it's the same report that I'm referring to.
Okay. Well, my automatic is I try to go on to, in my case, I work at ECU, East Carolina University. So I'll try and see if this report is there somewhere in one of their databases. Sometimes they subscribe to these things and you can use them for free. So that would be the way I would go about it, rather than pay $2,500. But
kind of on my radar. I don't have an access to the university system. I don't know how that works as not a student anymore, and definitely not faculty or staff or anything like that.
Well, I think the community colleges have access to all that as well. So I would reach out to your local community college. Who is it in your area? Is it?
It's AB Tech.
AB Tech, yeah. AB Tech may well have, allow access to the public. I mean, in the case of ECU, I think you do have to have a relationship with ECU. I do believe that's right. But I would see if you could figure out a way through a university or some other resource like that. But there may be no alternative to just buying the report. I don't know how important it really is. But I do think that if you go through the steps of designing your category, and I think that's an important first step, I think it will make it a little bit easier to figure out what direction to go, because it's overwhelming. It's a lot, and a lot of different ways you can go. So I think your first step should be to, what is your category, and what are you, how are you positioning yourself with that? And then I think we go from there into how do we actually, bring this to market. That would be my suggestion.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I hope it's helpful, but that's the exercises are on. There's two segments in member resources. One is understanding category design, which we went through last week, and then this week is the application of it. So there's two little boxes that, and both of them have a series of exercises. Most of what that guy was going about in the video. There's also a book called Play Bigger, which is the book written by these guys, this company, Category Design Management, or whatever they're called. I have that book as a Kindle book, and it's really good. It's full of that kind of stuff, studies and charts and examples. The issue I have with it, not issue, it's just the reality is it's really aimed at technology companies and venture funded. So you have to kind of extract it for your particular use case. But the idea of identifying yourself as you're not supplement, you're not the same as all these ones that taste like shit. You've got some legs to work off, to build on, which is exciting, right? I mean, to me, that's exciting. So I think that would be my first step if I were you.
Cool. Well, thank you for chatting.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to class. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Yeah. Do you have anything else?